Google has pulled the plug on some developer tools. Some of them you might have used, others you probably never noticed. In this video, we will talk about tools Google dropped, and we will also talk about what 2025 has in store, including AI-powered tools, Android XR, the new AI-assisted debugging in Chrome DevTools, and more. So let's get right into it. The first one on the list, most of you have probably heard of it, Google Code Jam, a legendary algorithm competition where developers from around the world flex their problem-solving skills and push the limits of competitive programming. And I hate to say this, but it's gone. Google shut it down in early 2023, leaving a massive void in the competitive programming scene and raising some serious doubts about the future of these kinds of contests. Many users were furious that Google killed such a legendary competition without even attempting to pass the torch to another organization. Others saw it as yet another example of Google's habit of shutting down projects. One Redditor pointed out that this wasn't just about a single contest. It was a trend. Google had also shut down Kickstart and Hashcode, which meant the company was fully exiting the competitive programming scene. Another user sarcastically commented, "Next up, Google shutting down the concept of coding itself." I mean, who even comes up with a comment that's this accurate? The next one on the list is something the real JavaScript programmers will definitely recognize. The once popular set of JavaScript tools that help developers optimize and minify their code, Clojure compiler and library, is officially dead. Google officially sunset the Clojure library on August 1st, 2024. This marked the end of its active development and support after more than a decade of service. Clojure Compiler is a tool that makes JavaScript code smaller and faster. It removes unnecessary parts, renames variables to shorter names, and even gets rid of code that isn't used. It was a big deal back in the day, especially when JavaScript tooling wasn't as advanced as it is now. It could minify and optimize JS better than most alternatives, and it played a huge role in Google's internal development ecosystem. And developers who still relied on it, well, hopefully there aren't many, but for those who are, they're likely scrambling for alternatives and dealing with the painful process of migrating away from a tool that Google quietly abandoned. All right, let's get into the third tool. It's probably one that many of you haven't heard of or used before, but Google once had a tool called Grasshopper. Grasshopper was Google's attempt to make coding more accessible to beginners, specifically by teaching JavaScript. It was designed to help people with no prior coding experience learn the basics of programming in a fun and interactive way. The app used puzzles and challenges to guide users through coding concepts step by step. Despite its initial success in attracting learners, Google decided to shut it down in mid-2024, leaving many to wonder what might have been if it had continued. All right, the next tool is probably the most interesting one. It's something most of you have either used or have wanted to try. AngularJS had been on life support for quite a while, with Google gradually moving its focus to newer versions of Angular. But in 2024, Google officially pulled the plug, marking the end of its life. If you're still maintaining legacy projects built on AngularJS, well, condolences. It's time to face the reality that those projects will need serious updates or a complete overhaul if you want to keep up with the latest web development trends. All right, moving on to the fifth tool. This one might be a bit of a shocker. If you are using Google Pay APIs for web or mobile payments, surprise, Google has officially axed it in the US and pushed everything into Google Wallet instead. Google's Pay API was designed to allow developers to integrate payment systems into their web and mobile applications. It enabled users to make payments using their Google accounts by using stored payment information like credit or debit cards. So if you had any projects relying on those APIs, it's time to pivot. Now, Google Wallet is being used instead, and you'll need to adapt to the changes. First up, we have AI-powered coding in Google Search. Google is rolling out AI-generated code suggestions directly in search results using Gemini 2.0. This means when you search for coding problems or solutions, you'll get AI-generated code snippets right in the search results. Kind of like Stack Overflow, but with a twist. And let's be real, a few AI hallucinations thrown in, While it's a game changer for speeding up development, it's also a reminder to double check the suggestions because AI doesn't always get it right. Still, it's an exciting step toward making coding even more accessible and efficient. Moving on, we've got Gemini AI integration in Android Studio. This is a big one. AI-assisted coding is making its way directly into Android Studio through Gemini. You can think of it like GitHub Copilot, but now it's fully integrated into your mobile development workflow. This means as you're building your Android apps, Gemini will be there to assist with code suggestions, error fixes, and even generate boilerplate code for you. It's designed to speed up your development process and improve productivity, allowing you to focus more on building features and less on repetitive tasks. So if you're working with Android Studio, get ready for a huge boost in efficiency. Next up, we've got Android XR. Google's big move into the extended reality space. Android XR is a new operating system from Google designed specifically for augmented reality and virtual reality experiences. It's tailored to power next-gen devices like Samsung's upcoming XR headset and Google's AI-powered smart glasses. The goal of Android XR is to provide a unified platform for developing immersive experiences in the AR/VR space, offering developers the tools and frameworks needed to create interactive apps and content for these new types of devices. Android XR is still in the making, and there's no release date yet, but if you haven't thought about AR/VR apps yet, now's the time. Moving on to the next big update, Google is revamping Chrome DevTools with AI-assisted debugging features, which are set to roll out in 2025. This means debugging your code is about to get a whole lot easier. You'll be able to optimize JavaScript performance more efficiently and tackle layout issues faster than ever. The AI will help you pinpoint problems more accurately, saving you time and frustration. So if you're a developer who spends a lot of time in DevTools, these updates are definitely going to speed up your workflow and make debugging smoother.